that it doesn't keep heating up this side of the hot plate. And you can already see that that's already started to slow down the cooking. If I get you close enough, maybe you can smell it through the camera. It smells delicious. I am cooking a Balinese dish and I have all of the ingredients ready to go. I have shallots, turmeric, ginger, a stack of garlic, chilies, a lot of chilies, some belacan, I think that's how you say it, some tamarind. It's supposed to have candle nuts, but I'm going to use macadamia nuts and brown sugar, but I'm using palm sugar. So, and lemongrass and also coriander, which is still in the fridge. So I'm just going to prepare all of this and get it ready to start chopping it up, and it's got to go into the Vitamizer and then it will need to be fried off, so I'll fry it off in the Metas. Because these are going to be done through the Vitamizer, they can just be rough cut. These garlics are really nice and plump. Oops. It says to de-seed these, but I like things hot. If you're going to eat chili food, you might as well eat chili food. These ones are from my garden. Need a big chunk of ginger. Okay, so I've got the tamarind pulp and I'm just soaking that in. It's got these great big seeds in it. Okay, so I think I just about have everything ready. Oh, the dried shrimp paste. It says 2 tablespoons of, the smell is, ugh. Oh, okay, broke off. 2 tablespoons. I reckon that'll be the go. The more the merrier, Lindsay said. Yep, so I'll just need that to soak, do this tomato and get my food processor ready. Stack the Metas because it's going out. Forgot to use my gloves. Just open that up. So I am just finishing off chopping up some lemongrass. I've decided to put that into the food processor as well as the other ingredients. So I have the tomatoes, the belacan, and I'm about to get the bowl ready to go in there, and also the lemongrass. And I have some extra chilies in some olive oil here ready to go as well. So we're going to get ready to start vitamizing this, but I think there might be a little bit too much to do all at once. Yeah, it's still a bit grainy. I'm going to take a little bit of vitamizing. I'll get that chili that I was talking about. Right, now I'm going to vitamize that for I'm going to give it a good minute to vitamize. Okay, so that's been vitamized, and now I need to get it ready to go into the pot and start cooking it. Just want to show you how vibrant that it looks. Look at that. I wish you could smell it. It smells delicious and earthy and yummy. Now I feel like going back to Bali. Three-quarters of a tablespoon of salt. That's a bit. The tamarind, that can go in. There's a bit of pulp there. And now we need the coconut oil, a good chunk of that. Okay, Oh, you can see that. You can see how the flame's going up into the flue there. So what I'm going to do is close that and get the flame to just, see the change? Now it's just going across the top of the stove. That is bubbling away, and now it's going to be time to put in the rest of the pulp. I'm going to just move it over there because that is very hot. Okay, and in goes the rest of the pulp. Okay, I'll go back on there now. So that's just got to cook down. Cook for about 20 minutes. Hasn't been 10 minutes, but I just don't want it to catch on the bottom, and cooking with the metal stove isn't something that I'm really used to yet. So I like to make sure that things are going okay before I, say, 10 minutes and it'll be fine. If I'm using my Asco convection stovetop, yeah, that's fine. But this is a little bit, probably 120 years technology ago. Oh, it's hot. It's very hot, hot on my leg. I wish you could smell it, and I wish you could feel the heat. You can probably see it in my face. I'll just leave that for another 5. I'm going to leave the lid off so that some of the moisture can simmer out of it. I know this is kind of a big deal for me to cook this Balinese food, because we've been going to Bali since 1987, and we have 3 children, and we have twins. And the first time we took the children, they were like 18 months. They were just walking. So Bali has been a really integral part of our family life, and we've had Christmas where we've had we've cooked our own Balinese food, and we had orab, which is like a toasted coconut and green bean salad with lemongrass and coconut oil and all sorts of different delicious flavours. And we made some desserts, Balinese desserts, and we had fish grilled on the charcoal. And what else did we have?
Sambal matao.
Oh, sambal matao, which I'm going to make for this dish. This dish is probably going to take a few days because this needs to chill out in the fridge for at least 24 hours before I use it on the fish that I've got. I've actually, getting away from the Christmas, I've got tuna steaks to cook in the banana leaf, but I haven't got banana leaves. That's why you can see this big cabbage on the counter here. I'm going to wrap it in cabbage leaves. So this is well and truly cooking down now. I need to slow it down because it is cooking a little bit too fast. What I'll do, hot, is I'm going to move it over here to the edge of the stove where it's not so hot, and just let that simmer away. But in the meantime, what I'm going to do is I'm going to push all the fire to one side so that that side of the hot plate doesn't continue to overheat. Okay, so what I was saying before is that I've put this over to the edge. I've got my gloves on because I need to open the fire up, and it is super hot. And I'm going to push all of the flames away from that side so that it can cool down a bit. I don't need it to be cooking really hard, it just needs to simmer. You can see there where the pot is, and you can see where the flames are. So I've just got my poker and I've just pushed everything away from that so that it doesn't keep heating up this side of the hot plate. And you can already see that that's already started to slow down the cooking. If I get you close enough, maybe you can smell it through the camera. It smells delicious. And you can see my face It is red. That is how hot the stove is. I'm actually sweating. What's the temperature?
Yeah.
So it's 9.6, feels like 7.8. So what I'm going to do, and I'm not going to film it, I'm just going to heat up a jar with some boiling water and then put this in there because I'm going to be using this tomorrow night. Okay. It's a couple of days later and I'm continuing to do this Balinese dish that I've been making. I've already made the paste and now I'm on to making what is called sambal mata. I have a recipe that I've written down in my cookbook that I'm going to follow. The ingredients are simply a cup of shallots, some lemongrass, I've got some chilies, thinly sliced chilies, garlic, which I have, 247 cloves, they're only small. It says it calls for lime juice, but I have a lemon tree, so I'm using lemon juice. It needs salt, sugar, and coconut oil. So what happens with this dish is everything gets finely cut up and put into a bowl, and then you put the salt and the sugar in. So it's 1 teaspoon of sugar and 1 teaspoon of salt and half a teaspoon of sugar. You put it all into a heat-proof bowl, and then you get the coconut oil, which is half a cup of coconut oil, and you heat that up on the stove until it's really super hot, like boiling hot. And then you tip it over the top of the dry ingredients, and then you stir it in, and then it cooks it. You let it cool, and then you use that as a condiment. So I'm going to make that now, ready for the Ikan Pepes for the next part. So this, we've had part 1, which was the paste we made. Part 2 is this condiment, and part 3 will be putting the fish together with the paste. And then part 4 will be, I will put it all together on a nice plate. So you can see there's a nice amount in there. We mix all that up. Then we get the salt and the sugar and the lime or lemon juice, and then half a cup of coconut oil, and we boil the coconut oil and tip that on top of that, and that creates a beautiful condiment to go with the Ikan Pepes. I can hear that already bubbling in the background. Yes, it's cooking. That metas is pretty hot, so it's pretty cool that it's already cooked. And that's only been a couple of minutes, so we should get ready for the next stage. Okay, now the trick is to pour this straight onto these ingredients while that coconut oil is super hot. So let me get myself a little bit organised. So that just goes straight in there. You can see how that bubbles up and cooks. Just going to put that back on there. And then we just stir that in, and that makes a beautiful, the aroma is stunning. The actual aroma is absolutely beautiful. So I'll just sit that on the cupboard over there on the mantelpiece for the afternoon. And while all of the other food is cooking, this can just extract its flavours and its juices into the oil, and then you just tip this over the top of the rice and the fish. Now I'm going to get on to making the next dish. I've got some tuna. I've got 4 pieces of tuna, and I've got some cabbage leaves, which I said earlier that I was going to be using cabbage leaves because I don't have access to any banana leaf, and I use the cabbage leaves instead. So I have them in a bowl with a little bit of boiling water to soften them, and I'm just steaming them for a minute. So I put them aside. And what I'm going to do is, normally I would just paste these, but I'm going to cut them up into smaller chunks. So we'll wrap them in the cabbage leaves. Then what I'm hoping to do is that by then the metas will have died down a bit and we'll have some nice hot coals. And I'm going to take this middle square out and put a wire rack over it and cook them over the top of the coals, which I haven't tried before because I obviously haven't done this dish on the Meadows before, but I'm going to give that a go. It's going to be way too hot right now to cook the tuna on. So it's probably, yeah, by the time we do an hour of marinating, I need to do some rice. I forgot to mention that. I've got some rice and I've also got some asparagus, which I want to just stir fry in some soy sauce. When I've had this in Bali, I'm pretty sure it's always been tuna. It's just all nice small chunks. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put it in this enamel container because it's got a lot of coconut oil in it. It's a bit stiff. It's not easy to put on the fish. And I'll just pop it in the Meadows oven for about 5 minutes and let it melt down a little bit. Oh, it's hot. That has warmed up nicely. Let's put that all on there. Okay, and we'll leave that for about an hour to marinate. I was just thinking about the word Ikan Pepes because when I've had this dish in Bali, that's what it's always called. I just thought it was the fish, the sauce was the name of the dish. And I thought, oh, maybe I should look it up and have a look on the internet. And it says Pepes is an Indonesian cooking method using banana leaves as food wrapping. The banana leaf containing food is secured with lidi semat, a small nail made from the central ribs of the coconut leaves, and then steamed or grilled on a char grill. So, yeah, here I am thinking that the sauce was the peppers, but it's not. It's actually the banana leaf, which is really cool. I'm glad I looked that up. I've done the cabbage leaves. It just doesn't look like it's going to be successful, but I'm going to continue. It doesn't matter. I can always put it in a tray and put it in the Meadows. I've got the frying pan there ready to go because I have asparagus that I want to stir fry in a little bit of soy sauce. The rice is cooked. The sambal matah is ready to go, which I just probably need to put next to the Meadows so that that can melt off. And then this dish is going to be good to go. So the coals. Yes, let's talk about the coals. They've come down to a good amount of coals there for me to be able to take. I want to take this square off. So I'm going to lift this out. I'm going to put this on. So I am going to put one of these on to the coals to cook there. Might just do 2. Or shall I just do all? Do all of them. Push that up. Oh, it's hot. It's definitely hot. Okay. I just want to put a bit of soy sauce in there. And throw the asparagus in. I think we need to push a bit of the fire underneath the frying pan. So that is all good there. I just need some smaller chips to get that fire going. These are okay. They're not charring, but we definitely need a little bit more fire underneath this frying pan. It's going to go dampen it down a bit before it's going to get hotter, which is always the way. So I've also closed off the flue so that the fire can start to spread a little bit more. So they are definitely starting to get a little bit of heat. I've opened this up a little bit to let a bit more air go. And I actually have my fans. It's all looking really good, better than I expected. I just want to check the fire because I don't want it to be burning the fish. So I'm going to spread it out a little bit because it's definitely arced itself up a little bit, but I don't want to dampen it either, which I just did, and now it's smoking. I have to open this again and get the fire going. That's better. I just want those nice coals in the middle there to finish cooking the fish. I also have put the sambal matah on here because it's a cold night and that had solidified. That is cooking really good. I'm happy with how that's going. And I had a little bit of fish left over, so I've just put that in with the asparagus, but that's not going to impact anything. And these look like they are coming along really well. Okay, so I'm going to give these a bit of a, oh no, they look all right. They're going to take a little bit longer. Could even put this lid over the top of them just to get a little bit more heat down into from the fire. So I've just got a little hand fan that I'm like getting a bit of air into that vent, and that's got the fire going. You can see how fanning the fire has brought it back up to temperature again. Okay, so I'm just turning these because this side is not quite cooked, and I kind of need a little bit of a rustle around. You can hear, oh my God, you can hear the sizzle. Sounds good. I'll turn that one back over this way. Whoops. Turn that. No, Ikan Pepes turned into cabbage rolls. So we should probably have about 5 more minutes and I'll be ready to plate up and show you this amazing food. Okay, it's time to take these off. You can see how red my face is from the heat of the metas. It's all cooked and I'm now ready to show you how the plating up works. You can see the rice on there, and I'm going to take this out and open it up. Oh my goodness, it has turned out amazing. Look at that. Look at that. That is beautiful. And now I'll just get the asparagus. Put some of that on the plate. And then the sambal matah. Just going to put a little bit there and drizzle a little bit down there. That has turned out incredible. Check out that fish. It is cooked to perfection. Unbelievable. So that is my Ikan Pepes. My Ikan Pepes. What an amazing dish. I am so happy with the way it turned out. Happier than I could possibly imagine. Now, I'm going to eat it. I have to get a fork. I'm going to taste it. This dish has taken a few days, few iterations, but I have a little bit of the sambal matah, the tuna with the paste on it. Oh my God. I am so in Bali. So I'm going to taste. So delicious. Try a little bit of the rice. That is totally to die for. That is. I know that the cabbage leaf is probably not the best option, but it was all the best I could think of. But check this tuna out. Check out how it's cooked. Put it on my fork. Perfection. And that's on the meadows with the coals and the fire coming up from the grate. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Amazing. Okay, so I am now going to stop the camera because I'm eating and dish up my husband some because he's sitting in the lounge room going, what's going on? But that is beautiful. Thank you for watching my video. Thank you. Grateful. If you got to the end, I'm so grateful. Do you have enough rice?
Mm-hmm.
Got enough sambal matah?
Oh, delicious.
Delicious. Got the husband's seal of approval.
Yep. Good.
Thank you. Amazing. Thank you.